My name is Robbie Main. I was born July 31, 1985 in Mount Albert in Auckland, New Zealand. Um, Grew up on a small farm when I was a young child, and it was a little goat farm. My father was working in insurance, my mother was working the farm. We were producing Angora wool. And when I was about 4 years old, I moved to Auckland in New Zealand. It's a larger city. And that's when I experienced one of the first visions that I'd had about people coming into my room as a child. And it was I believe it was Oakland Avenue. That's where that happened. I was very afraid of aliens, and it sounds ridiculous, because this is the beginning of a ridiculous story that is my life. I'm 39 years old now. I'm currently homeless, living in a hotel room in San Francisco. Last year, on my 39th birthday, something called the earthquake happened, and that's when my apartment was bombarded by an array of electromagnetic field weaponry. And why was that? The reason why my apartment was bombarded was to get me to do a couple of things. Think about electromagnetic fields, firstly, and secondly, to get me to leave my apartment. Why did they want me to leave my apartment? Because they wanted me to be in San Diego. What was happening in San Diego that was so important that I was bombarded by electromagnetic field weaponry? That's something that is so difficult to explain, but I'll try. I left my apartment after a few days trying to escape this kind of attack on my body. Could feel pain, weird sensations. Just kind of feelings that you get when you're in a sonic weaponry attack. However, I wasn't always under a sonic weaponry attack. I was also under something called a signal tone, which I'll explain more about later. But suffice it to say, it was painful. And when I arrived in San Diego, I had decided that I was just going to leave San Francisco. I didn't know why I was living in San Diego, but I was going to leave San Francisco, and I was leaving San Francisco in order for me to go to rehab, because I had been using methamphetamine. It's a difficult story to talk about because it's embarrassing. It's kind of a little bit shameful. And to be honest with you, methamphetamine's the kind of drug that you don't really talk about in public. It's the kind of drug that's a little bit embarrassing and shameful. You don't talk about it. And you know what? I don't know why that is, but I'm getting more of an idea of why that might be. But suffice it to say, I had left San Francisco in order to go to San Diego to rehabilitate myself. And once I had arrived, the most fucking chaotic events started to transpire. Firstly, when I arrived, I did not know where I was even going. I didn't know anything. I was just trying to escape this pain. I'd abandoned my 2 baby cats. I love them dearly, and I'm still estranged from them. They're like my children. They're little baby kittens, and it was painful to leave them. But it made no sense. Why would I do that? Why would I leave these two little beings that were my little beings, you know, the things that I cared for, my little babies? Why would I do that? So I start to walk around and realize I don't know where fucking rehab is. I don't know where I'm even going. I've got two kind of vague ideas, but my phone had been stolen at the TSA. At the TSA, it was stolen on July 31st when I had exited San Francisco to go to San Diego. It's on camera. You can see it when you go watch the TSA footage. If anybody's wondering if this is real or not. So I had no real idea. I was walking around. It was the middle of the night. And it was the first night in my entire life that I had nowhere to sleep that was my own. And so I slept in the corner of a little abbey that had been reimagined into some kind of restaurant or something. I was afraid. I was scared of the homeless people. I was scared of what had happened to me. I didn't know why this was all going on. Anyway, it was my first night ever sleeping in public, on the ground, on top of my suitcase, just protecting everything that I had left. This is awful to talk about. I woke up, and in the morning, I walked myself down to the middle of San Diego to the AC Marriott Hotel, where I booked a room for $666. And get this, on perhaps July 24th or something around there, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, I can't remember, a man in a bright yellow t-shirt ran across at me from the Noe Street and Market Street intersection with the number 666 and the Beast written on it, running at me. And here I am in the AC Hotel, booking a hotel room for $666. This is bullshit. Why would anybody do this to somebody? But you know what? It's real. You can go look at it. I paid for it with my Wells Fargo Reflect credit card. You can go look at my bank statements. It's right there. And I was one of the only people staying at that hotel. When I got myself out of the hotel and was walking around, I started noticing a lot of really, really fucking unusual behavior. There was a large number of very attractive white people who were talking to themselves, who did not really make sense. They were doing things like this. Unexplainable until now. They're all in this signal tone. Their minds are ensnared by an electromagnetic field that has been entrained upon their brainwaves, connecting them to a computer. And many people are connected to this computer. This computer is kind of using all these people as pawns in a game of chess. And all of these people were making signals, not electromagnetic field signals, but human signals, using hand signals or just trying to talk to themselves or sitting there talking to the software. big introduction for my first video. But I will talk about this more on another day because I have so much more to say and not a lot of time and not a lot of money.